What's up, guys? Welcome to Mikey's Untitled Music Show. Today I have Stubbs with us right now. His real name is Andre. Thank you so much, Stubbs, for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. How you
No,
doing?
thank you, man. Pretty good. Just working, the usual 9 to 5. California's expensive if you didn't know,
Hmm.
for your outside viewers.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's really expensive out here. Shout out San Diego. It's the best freaking city in the world, though. In my opinion, it's the best city in the world. When I was younger, I grew up in Imperial Valley, and if you don't know Imperial Valley, not a lot of people do, but they're out in the middle of nowhere, about 2 hours southeast from here, a little border town. But the thing was, you grow up, you go to San Diego when you get older. You know what
Yep.
I mean? And you made it.
You made it.
You
You
made
made
it.
it.
So
And
yeah,
if you stayed
stay
here,
happy.
you struggled staying here.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's all love.
Yeah, all love for sure. So I met Stubbs. He was working, and I, we had a little conversation. He asked me, hey, what are you gonna do today? And I said, hey, I'm gonna be editing. He asked me what I'm gonna be editing, and I told him about my podcast. And then we had a little conversation, and I found out that he's a beatboxer, and that he loves to scream, like musically. And I was like, fuck, dude, like, are you down to be on the show? He's like, oh, hell yeah. And then he sent me some stuff. And you've been on NBC 5, the San Diego local.
It was Fox 5.
Fox 5, that's
Fox
right,
5
Fox
News,
5.
yeah.
How is that, bro?
It was cool, man. It was such a sick experience because not only I got to be on, Fox 5, but it was how I got on Fox 5. And it was because we had an open mic at the Music Box, Music Box San Diego. Super huge venue. A lot of big people go there. Um, but yeah, they held an open mic every Monday. And, me being me, I went every Monday. Uh, and they got up to the point where they were like, you know what? We're going to extend this experience and we're going to reach out to the community. And a lot of people were telling him, go hit the public, go hit the public. And I was like, what does that mean? So I guess they just announced one open mic that uh, Fox 5 had invited them to, showcase some of their open mic stuff. And we had a guitarist that showed up every Monday. We had the guy that makes all the cool drinks, and we had me. And we had the host as well. We couldn't do it without the host.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was really cool. It was a trip being in there, bro.
I bet, dude. Like,
Super trip.
was it like a studio, or was it looked outdoors, but is it like an outdoor setting that they have, or like actual set?
It was an outdoor set actually. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We did walk through the whole I think it's in this area actually. The Fox 5 headquarters.
Uh,
So we walked through there and I saw everybody working and stuff. So yeah, it was cool.
that's cool, man. So, one of the first questions I like to ask, like, I like to get from the very beginning, you know what I mean? At least with the music. But one of the first questions I like to ask uh, do you remember a time, or like, can you give us like one of the earliest memories you have of using your musical creativity for your like personal music, like when you started actually doing it for yourself and not for because I know when I was younger, we used to do like dramas and plays, like when I went to church, and I was in all that stuff, but
Right.
that was part of the church stuff. I never
Yeah.
really like did anything out on my own. Like, I started writing when I was in high school and stuff, but like, when was the first time you started doing it for yourself?
You know what, man? I bet a lot of people can relate to this musically, but we all start off by copying, fundamentally, whether if it's a beat, whether if it's a metronome, whether if it's a sound, whether if it's a structure.
Hmm.
Even a business, their ideas will come off from another business. And we all know that.
Yeah.
After about 3 years of doing that, I figured man, how are all these other beatboxers making these freaking ridiculous routines?
Mhm.
Like 30-minute sets, 15-minute sets. It's crazy. And I just thought to myself, dude, it's simple. You got to think like a producer.
Mhm.
You got to put your sounds together and you got to create what kind of genre you like, you know. So I base myself off of heavy music, like drum and bass, dubstep, metalcore. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put something together really quick. came up with the intro, came up with the chorus. Pretty much a verse is like kind of like freestyle in between each, chorus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have that, and then I have the outro. So as long as you got those 3, 4 concepts, making something for myself, I was able to build my own routine and call it Concrete Vines. So that was made like 7 years, 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah,
And how did you start playing music? Was that was that like just for beatboxing?
that was just for beatboxing. I never really gotten to make music myself with instruments or
Okay.
like vocals,
Yeah.
just because my subgenre of metalcore is very minuscule down here in San Diego. It's a bunch of like hardcore, deathcore stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Respect, but it's not really my thing. So it's been kind of hard, but beatboxing's done it.
And so what made you actually like want to be a beatboxer? Like what was the first time you started like doing your thing or like practicing like how to do it?
It's different, man. I started doing it because based off of the reactions, you know, people understood beatboxing back in the 90s, boots and cats.
Hmm.
But now it's a lot more intricate, it's a lot more different, you know. We use a lot of intricacies in our routines. We use a lot of uh what's it called? Influence
Mm.
off of other music.
Mm-hmm.
We start creating our own sounds and then we compare them to the sounds that they make through the microphone. They sound way different. So
Mm-hmm.
that gets us going, and to other people it blows their mind, dude. Especially, not I'm not bragging or anything, but when you get to that level of like, oh dude, this guy can really do something different than no one else can really do,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's why I started doing it way more continuously, started like practicing, started looking at people do different sounds, just started practicing like you said.
Who were some of your like your influence, your copycats that you started like going after?
My boy Reaps one. He's from London. I think he's like 33, 35 right
Okay.
now. But he's been in the game since 2007. He's been battling over at Belgium, around the world. He's been on Sofer Sounds. But yeah, Reaps one. Check him out on YouTube.
Check them out. Shout out Reeps One. Dude, I've always been really like I have like a lot of respect and admiration for like artists who can like go and because I I can create. I'm not really a creative person. I'm more of like a
You could be.
like I could be. Yeah, I
Hmm.
could be. Um, but I'm like a problem solver. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like if you tell me to do something, I'm gonna figure out a way of doing like of how to do it. You know what I mean? Like just with anything, it's not like I used to love building like Legos, and I used to love creating like cars out of cardboard boxes, and
right.
I used
Right.
to like I think in a different life I could have been like an engineer kind of thing,
Like some architect or something.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that, that's like so but I didn't really do anything like creative. I well, yeah, I did. I acted in like if there was ever like any kind of play at church, I wanted to be like the top one. Or if I did a couple plays for middle school, I was like the prince for Cinderella.
You wanted to be Jesus, huh, in the church?
You know what I'm saying?
I, you.
But like like doing that kind of stuff. But I always had admiration for like artists and the musicians and like people that can like go out and do like create things like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like how do you when you first start and you're practicing, and like you said, it's kind of like a copycat thing, or not a copycat, it's influential. It comes out of a lot of influence from the things around you.
Yeah.
Other than like Reap One, what were some of those influences that you used around you to make your different sounds?
Oh man, I started getting into 808s. You know what those are? 808s. It's like it's a producer like production term, but 808s is the bass sounds that you hear in the background of the beat, not the kick bass, not the,
Mm-hmm.
but the, yeah. For example, like that's an
Yeah.
808. It's
Okay.
like the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
wubs in
Yeah.
dubstep sound. Wub wub. Those are 808s.
Okay.
When I started learning about those, when I figured those out, I was like, yo, I got to do something with this. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that. Some people can make freaking car sounds, and that's crazy.
Yeah, and I loved watching like I never followed it like I didn't know who the artist names or anything like that were, but like beatboxing, like breakdancing, like that kind of stuff I used to love that shit, like love following it because you're using like one you're using your mouth to make all these different noises, and it,
Yeah.
it just amazes me the different noises that you can make. Like right now, you said the 808, and you just did that.
Yeah.
Like that like little like I don't know. I can't do it, but like the roll, you know what I mean? It's kind of like
Yeah.
a
Right.
in like
Right.
Spanish, you know what I mean? But that like I live like. Oh, like that kind of shit.
Uh
I
huh.
live for that kind of stuff, man.
Oh
Like
man.
and I had a homie. Shout out, homie Emmanuel.
Hey, Manuel.
Back in the day, he used to always have a fat like sound system, like a badass sound system,
Big old PA system.
Yeah, like
Okay.
no, like in his car. In his
Oh,
car. So
it's
like
okay.
we would like go around, maybe a little under the influence, go around and listen to some music like in his car and shit, but like he'd always have the bass bumping, and whenever you would get one of those bass rolls,
See?
and like you would like ooh,
Yeah, just
like damn,
yeah, you know exactly what I'm
like
talking about
so
then.
yeah so you showed me a video of you doing, like, I think you were in a studio and you were doing your thing, and bro, that shit just I showed my friend like I was at work and I was like, hey bro, look, check this shit out, dude, I'm gonna interview this guy. And he's like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah, check this shit out, like he's like, I'm gonna interview him. And like, yeah, like and when I like just like listening to like a freestyle, like when I hear that verse, that just makes you go like
Oh
ooh, you
yeah.
know what I mean, like
Yeah, I
that,
see
like
what you mean.
that's what that does to me. And so like you were doing like things like that, but that whole performance was like really cool.
Hey, I appreciate you,
Yeah,
bro.
like definitely, man. And I was like, man, I need to get in there, I need to get into his mind,
Hey,
man, for sure.
I'm glad you got me in, bro.
No, yeah, definitely,
Appreciate
definitely.
you.
Thank you for doing this, man. I
Of
really
course.
appreciate it. And it's nice when you're able to like interview like local artists. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like places from around here, from around home. Like that's another big thing that I want to use this show as, to like spotlight like new and upcoming local artists. Like I'm going to school right now at San Diego City College.
Oh, over there in downtown?
Yeah, in
Okay,
downtown.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so like it's like a radio and podcast class kind of thing.
Oh, dope.
And for right now, for audio production, we're doing like a PSA.
Right.
Like we're learning how to record PSAs and stuff.
Hmm.
And so
Like a public
like
service
public
announcement?
service
Oh, okay,
announcement,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
to just I guess kind of promote the clubs at school and stuff. So
I
like
see.
doing that kind of stuff, like I learned about this other music program, but like I'm trying to keep it, not trying to keep it local, but I'm trying to get my hands into that. So
Right.
like thank you for doing this also, because
Oh
that
man.
that it's a dip in the water kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
So
it's a rough road, but it's all mental. But only rough road in the mental. Once you make it a smooth pavement, everything will be okay.
yeah, when you first start, like if you were going to make like a, or I don't know, like how does it go? Do you make songs, like beatbox recorded like songs kind of thing, or is it just you go and perform, and whatever comes out, that's what that's what it is, like, or like, what I
I
mean,
see what
like,
you
or
mean.
like do you practice like are there, like, pretty much, do you have singles kind of thing also, you know what I mean?
It it's kind of funny and different, but in the beatbox world, we call it like a routine.
Okay.
Uh, I guess the term song would be, the same thing, but that's more of a composition through like virtual. I don't know, it's a little different with the term song, but over the years we've just developed our minds to call it routines instead. um but as opposed to like performing, nah, I kind of just warm myself up.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure I have one routine in there at least.
Okay.
So let's say I go to a show, I'm about to perform, I'll ask for a pen,
Mm.
and then on my hand I'll write, not intro, but I'll write like freestyle. Second, I'll write some routine. Third, I'll write uh outro freestyle. I'll
Mm-hmm.
have like a structure written on my hand just so I can gauge of what I know what to do. you
Okay.
know but other than that, freestyling is, it's what it usually is when I perform.
Okay. That's
People just
cool.
can't tell.
All right.
Yeah.
And how do you get yourself like the ways I've seen beatboxing, the only ways that I've ever like watched beatboxing other than maybe like some little like segment on oh, you're good, bro. Like,
Yeah, my
yeah.
bad.
No,
That
you're
little
good.
like plastic sound, I was like, shoot, every single
Yeah, no,
time.
it's no problem. Like the only places I've seen it is kind of like on TV or like on MTV2, like back in the day where it was like there were maybe like a little segment about it, or like it was like on the Tonight Show,
Oh,
like
right.
Biz Marquee, and
Yeah, Biz Marquee.
like that's the only guy I really knew coming like growing up was Biz Marquee. Like he was a
That's a good
guy,
gauge.
he was the guy.
Yeah.
And so like that's the only thing that I really saw. And but then it went to like you saw that shit on YouTube all the time.
hmm
Or like on social media. So like how do you try to get yourself out there?
I definitely like to get myself out there physically and through word of mouth.
Mm.
Although how powerful social media is right now and how it's been, I feel like the intimacy also comes in with a strong, footstep
Yeah.
with showing up physically and word to mouth. But social media is just as good. I use it just as much as I, dedicate myself physically. Uh, but as opposed to like showing my, there's like people who will post their stories every day of what they do for a living,
Mm-hmm.
or like their little side hustles. I don't usually do that on social media for some reason. I don't know. I probably should start. But for the shows, I'll definitely have a good structure going on. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. That's cool, man. What was the first show that you played?
the first show that I played, this is a good one. The first show that I played was definitely somewhere like around 2000. I'm gonna say like 15. It was a year right after I started doing open mics, and man, I don't want to lie.
Hey, we'll just call it that, bro.
Well, on okay, so to be fair, to be transparent, I remember one of my first shows, and it was because I knew a homie named Spooks,
Uh-huh.
and he would show up and he would perform at the There's this thing called a. It was a black market sesh, like if you know those like black market sessions that people be doing, like
Uh, I, like here in San Diego.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't really know.
Oh, okay, okay. We still got those low key,
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I met him at a trap sesh, and that fool was a homie of my homie, and I told him, word to mouth again, and he was like, "Yeah, show up, next month we're gonna have another one." It was at Queen Bee's.
Mm.
Queen Bee's. It wasn't the open mic, but they had shut down the whole venue so that they can do that. Bro, we were smoking inside. It was a sick set. Ganja Galaxy. That's what it was called.
Oh, okay.
Ganja Galaxy. If you're an OG, you'd remember. The last one was 2014. Um, so that's probably the year I performed. But yeah, that was really cool. I actually got super sick because that mic was filthy, bro, of
I
performers.
didn't even think about that.
Dude, oh my gosh. After that, I also learned as a performer how safe you have to be,
Uh-huh.
within the context of your environment. So you can't just be using anybody's mic. I learned to
Yeah.
buy my own mic, bring it, and that's it. Don't use anybody else's mic, or else you get some strep throat, bro. It was not fun. But yeah, that was one of the first shows for sure.
And how did it feel? How did it feel like going up there for the first time, like in front of a bunch of people?
You know what? I was around a bunch of potheads and a bunch of people selling weed and
Mm-hmm.
like gummies and all that. So no one was kind of really like looking at me, paying attention really.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I saw a couple of people passing by and they were like recording, like, yo, what the freak? And I was like, okay, I'm getting some traction here,
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But yeah, I felt really good up there. Every beat I kind of did, it was kind of hurting too because there was smoke in the air. But it was cool. I stuttered a couple beats. That was like again, my first performance, one of them at least.
Hmm.
So I probably stuttered a beat or two.
And how does that? How does that like experience that first experience to when you go up like now? Um, like, do you still like? Well, in that first one, I'm sure you felt nervous, but like how did you feel like before you got up on the stage?
I felt confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in ROTC as well in high school.
Okay.
So confidence is key as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, that was a breeze just going up there.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
doing the thing was like, I need to start doing something before people start throwing trash at me or something.
Yeah. So like is that pretty much still the mindset now? Like you go up there, like do you feel confident now or um as the time has go on, do you put yourself more on like a higher standard so that maybe will make you feel a little more nervous now because you've been doing it for so long?
Hmm. That's actually excellent. No, I don't feel the same anymore. I
Mm.
do have confidence still, 100,000%. Now I can even read the room, I can read the audience, I can read the host, and I can know what to say and do.
Mhm.
You know, I can read what's going on and I am able to, project the type of energy in a beat or in a routine, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm. Yeah.
But gauging my audience is what I'm very good at right now, and it's helped me along the way. You
Mm.
know, it's like when they say, my dad taught me if you're gonna cuss around the right people. You know,
That's
right?
that's what I tell my kids.
Oh, you have kids.
Yeah, I got two boys. Yeah, I got a 12.
Wow.
It's funny because we actually talked about that. I have a 12-year-old. I have a 13-year-old.
Oh, we did, huh?
Well, I don't know if we did. We probably did, but I'm saying like me and my kids just talked about that
Oh, I see. I
like
see.
not too long ago. I maybe like a year ago or something. Because I started cussing in school when I was like in third grade, bro.
Right.
Like it was funny. It was me and one of my best friends now, and that we would just look on the other side of each other, like on
Mhm.
the like he'd be at one desk, and I'd just be like, and then he would like look back at me, and he would be like,
That's hilarious.
it
That
was
reminds me of
so
that Key and
funny.
Peele episode.
Oh
Remember that
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Yeah.
You said
Yep, yep. And she said, "I'm a holy man. I stopped cussing, man. The Bible says not to cuss."
okay. So, but anyways, the like I told my kids, I was like, okay, if there's cuss around your friends. That's the only play. That's the only time you can't because I can't stop you. And I'm
Right.
like I told him I don't like it if you do, but but I can't stop. I'm not gonna be there all the time. But
Yeah.
I told him if you ever get in trouble for that, that's a different story.
Yeah.
If I ever hear you saying that around us
Hmm.
or saying that around like grown ups or in the wrong setting like
Yeah.
teachers and shit, like no.
Now I can judge you.
Yeah, like no. All right,
Yeah.
because I gave you that little thing. If you want to do it with your friends, I can tell you I don't want you to do it,
Right.
but I can't stop you from doing it. So he was like, all
All
right.
right. Just so subtle like that, man. Kids are amazing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I'm
man.
proud of you, bro. That's cool.
Yeah, and it's like it's funny, but like I'm trying to get them to start about like thinking about what they want to do like in their future right now,
Mhm.
like my older son wants to be like a ring announcer for WWE and shit. like that's what he wants to do. And
Ambitious.
my younger one, he just wants to create. Like he's like me. Like whatever tools he wants, like or whatever thing that he wants. It's more when he was younger, but whatever he wanted, if he didn't have it,
Hmm.
he would make it.
Okay.
Like, bro, this kid would build like stadiums for his action figures, like stadiums, bro. Like, and be like, "Daddy, look." And I'd be like, "Oh my god, I need to hone this." You know what I mean? Like, I need to make sure that you don't lose this. You know?
Right.
And like, I
Right.
actually had a conversation with him too the other day. Like, I need you to start creating
Hmm.
because his grades are kind of going a little down. But like right now they're going up. Like after the conversation we had or whatever. But like, I think everybody needs to create.
Hmm.
Something like that's kind of what I'm doing with this right now. That this is my way of kind of going back to my roots or going back to like the thing that I love doing like
Right.
just as a kid, because if you do the things you love doing as a kid, you know and you're doing that as an adult, like fucking more power to you.
Right. No,
Like, you know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like more power to you. Do it. It's good for your soul. It's good for your mind, like to create, like to just do something.
Hmm.
um
Dude, your son's gonna be an entrepreneur, man.
bro, I think
He
he
has a
is.
business mindset
He
already.
does. And right now, like, the thing with him right now is that we let him earn money by doing like chores and stuff. So if he wants something, he's gonna be working at it for like a good like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
wow.
and like $1. All right, you're gonna wash the full sink. That's $3.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you gonna come take out the trash with me for $1? Do
Hmm.
you want like? And he'll be on it until it gets
Wow.
like that. Until he gets that thing. You know what I mean? So it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing their personalities, like their different things. But
He's
like
thriving for the bag.
yeah, dude. Or well, yeah, that too. But like he's doing things. Like
Hmm.
he's going and getting it. He's not just
Right.
like, "Ah, I'll just wait till it comes to me."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's like, I want it now. So how am I gonna get it right now?
Hmm.
I got to do these things. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll do
Yeah.
them. So that's really a little off topic, guys.
Hey,
But
it's
yeah,
okay.
um,
Y'all are still here, right?
they're still here. I hope. I hope. Are you guys still here? Let me know in the comments if you're still here at minute 28, and you'll get a high five in the comments. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
It's not there yet. Only to him.
Come on now. But yeah, one of the last questions I like to ask is like, what has, um, not the last question, but yeah, like what has been the purpose of music? Like what has been the purpose of music in your life? Like the ultimate purpose.
That is a question I never actually thought of. But I do know why I listen to music a lot.
Mm,
I believe the sole purpose for music in my life, the intention of music surrounding my life, is for my health.
mm,
And I say that, I don't want to sound cliche about it, but man, even my lady knows like whenever I'm pissed off or like whenever I'm sad, whenever I'm freaking hungry, bruh, I swear to you, metalcore music will just, change my attitude. It'll change my mind. It'll calm me down. I just need like a good minute of it,
mhm.
but music at the end of the day to me is my serenity, People like to watch movies, people like to watch I was about to say something else, but I can't say that. People like to read books. People like to drive cars. People like to shoot guns for fun,
Mhm.
to relieve stress,
Yeah.
anxiety, sadness, you know. But me, it's always been music with anything physical, mental, spiritual. Man, music, other than God, music just moves me. I tell
Mm,
everybody that music shapes me. So,
that's beautiful.
give
And the last question I like to ask is,
it to
um,
me.
I don't know if you ever thought of this, or like, what what's your message? What's Stubbs? What's Andre's message to the world?
My message. Another one I didn't expect. You know what? Full transparency. Learn as much as you can outside of the universities. Love your family and put God at the center of your life. That's it.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Well, thank you,
Yeah, not
Stubbs.
thank you, dude.
Thank you for doing this. This is my. I also I can't lie. I've had other in-person interviews, but they were with my friends. Shout out Sebastian, Brian, Sativa. That's my sister-in-law.
Hey, sativa.
Yep. And I'm I, f- my I feel like I'm missing if I'm it's and we'll say it later. But I have those interviews. You guys are whenever we're gonna do it one of these days. I'm gonna put them up one of these days. But
Hey,
like yeah, for helping me, thank you so much. But stuff,
shout
this
out to
is
y'all.
my like other than my brother, this is like the first in-person interview of like an artist that like I don't know personally. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
I really, I really thank you for doing this, and
Dude,
like this is
appreciate you, man.
a great experience. It's been a really good experience, and thank you for. I'm sorry, your cousin. What's your cousin's name?
Amory.
Anne-Marie, thank you so much, Anne-Marie. This is her beautiful studio, beautiful tattoo studio that she allowed us to record here, and throw a shout out also on the Instagram
Body
for
Diaries on Instagram.
Body Diaries on Instagram. We'll get that up there, and yeah, guys, like thank you for following me along this musical journey. Thank you so much, brother. Thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah.
much. Really appreciate it.
Gotcha.
And how we say at the end, everybody, remember, be safe, be great. We share because we care.
God
Peace.
bless.